Hey there, Storm fans. Bryant Cook, and today we are playing Solidarity, one of Legacy's earliest combo decks. And when you look at this deck list, it hasn't changed a whole lot in the last 15 to 20 years, if I'm being completely honest. When you look at it, it's pretty stock. We have Consider from Innistrad Midnight Hunt. You get another Opt effect, which is something that this deck really wanted for a long time. One of the downsides of playing Solidarity was that you don't get Ponder, so you have less cantrips and Opt. It's fine, but you wanted something a little bit better, and now we have Consider, which can play well with our Frantic Inventory. That's weird. Why would I play Frantic Inventory over Accumulated Knowledge? I used to be with you. Uh, and then Ragavan happened, where if your opponent hits you with Ragavan and they reveal Accumulated Knowledge, they will get additional cards for cards in your graveyard. So it's actually pretty detrimental for you to run Accumulated Knowledge. So instead, we're running Frantic Inventory. And then obviously you have Legacy All-Star Brainstorm and our Cantrip Cartel as well. The card that this deck is based around, High Tide. So this deck works like any other High Tide variant. You want islands in play, you cast High Tide, you untap your lands, eventually it ends with the Brain Freeze or Blue Sun Zenith, right? Like, that's the overall game plan. But the thing about Solidarity is that it's an instant speed combo deck, which means that we're using the card Reset that says that you can only cast it after your opponent's untap step, or after their upkeep, I'm sorry. It's been a while since I've read this card. But you can only cast it after their upkeep, which means you cannot go off before their draw step and then use their draw step to deck them. But so you get a 2-mana untap effect. You also have Turnabout to untap your lands. But one of the cool things about this deck, post Modern Horizons, and I mean, wow, what a crazy world, right? Force Negation. This is sort of unique for Solidarity. Force Negation is a force that you can use to protect your combo on your opponent's turn with Force Negation. So that's kind of wild. But yeah, that's the main idea. And then Mission Briefing, a pseudo Snapcaster Mage. It's a Snapcaster where you also get to Surveil too. So Consider is like Surveil, but worded differently. And then we have Cunning Wish. This is how we get our Brain Freeze or our Blue Sun Zenith. And then Meditate, draw 4 cards. Pretty powerful overall. But yeah, this deck isn't anything new. You've probably seen it before. It's a classic Legacy deck. When we move to the sideboard, Chain of Vapor, Answers Deafening Silence, Ethersworn Canonist, all that good stuff. Brain Freeze is how we win. Dress Down. So this card just beats multiple Hate Bears, which is kind of nice. But it also, it's pretty good against that Doomsday deck, so there's reason to play even more of it. I just struggle to find the slots. In fact, I struggle to find room for Surgical, so I don't know how much room you actually have for Dress Down, especially when you're playing 2 Chains, an Echoing Truth, and a Snap. Like, this is a lot of effects for one archetype, and you don't want to go too overboard. The 4th Meditate, you just really want access to more of them. Turnabout, Blue Sun Zenith, and obviously Surgical for those combo matchups. This is the deck. If you have any questions about this deck, feel free to leave those in the comment section down below. I do my best to answer all of them. So, have a question? Leave a comment. It's that simple. Or you can just leave a comment anyway. Help me get into that lovely YouTube algorithm, and that would be a terrific thing for you to do. That's just one of the best ways that you can support us. Also, like this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Subscribing, help us hit our yearly goal. We're going for 6,000 before January 1st, and I would greatly appreciate your support. If you're looking to support us in any other way, you can become a member. That is the join button next to that subscribe button, where you can unlock tons of member perks, donation decks, cyborg guides, badges, emotes, all that good stuff. Check that out. You can also go directly to theepicstorm.com/donation decks to submit your combo deck, be featured here on this very YouTube channel. theepicstorm.com/shop for your card singles, as well as sweet, sweet, sweet Storm merchandise, including our brand new mini token pack. Go check that out. That is my introduction. I hope you enjoy Solidarity today. I will see you in match number 1. Welcome to match number 1, and we are on the play with Solidarity. Alright, we've opened up a 1-lander. Not really what we want with this deck. But even if this wasn't a 1-lander, this hand is just too clunky. We have to ship it. Okay, I think we keep this. We bottom. Either Force of Will or Frantic Inventory, I think. I feel like we're probably supposed to keep the Force. Maybe it's Meditate. Or let's get rid of Mission Briefing. Let's try this. Okay, Flooded Strand Pass. I decided to keep the Frantic Inventory to help me hit my land drops. Ponder. We'll allow it. Okay, now let's cast Consider on their end step. Ideally, we would mill a Frantic Inventory and then draw a land. That would be the perfect one. Okay. Consider. Unfortunately, Reset's going to the graveyard, and we hit our land. Beautiful. That's pretty good. Okay. Let's see if we can hit land 3 off this Frantic Inventory. Second copy of Volcanic Island. So either Blue-Red Delver or Blue-Red Tempo, whatever you'd like to call it, or possibly even Sneak and Show. And it is Delver. Frantic Inventory. Alright, we hit land 3, that's a good sign. Draw. I can't help but wonder if I'm supposed to try to win here. So we can cast High Tide and then reset floating 2, meditate. If they force meditate, we can meditate in response and then force. But if they force earlier than that, it gets really awkward. I'll let it happen. So they're going to get a free cantrip off us. Yep. Sure. I could respond to the Ponder and try to win off that. Sure. You got it. Murktide. Okay. So they're down to 5 cards, and they've tapped out. This might be our window. High Tide. Please resolve. Okay, step 1. Reset. Meditate. Everything's going according to plan. Alright, now let's meditate again. And we'll force pitch and consider. We have to hit another reset off this. There's only 2 left in the deck. Because we're taking 2 additional turns. And we did not hit one. Maybe I was supposed to respond to Murktide, but I didn't hit a force anyway. We're just dead on board. Ah, that's a bummer. I just thought it was a good window when they were tapped out. Yeah, we didn't have a reset coming either. Bummer. Okay. I don't know if we change anything against, is it Tempo or Delver? I think we just send back the same deck list. Yeah, I probably should have responded to the Murktide, though. That's my own fault. Because then if I fizzle, I could always force it. I mean, I didn't hit one, but it would have been a better play. Alright, Chance at Redemption. We're on the play. This hand's so good if I could hit land 2. Let's try it out. I'm gonna get punished here. I'm gonna main phase Brainstorm and Brainstorm lock myself. Is everyone ready? And let's play this now to avoid getting Pyroblasted. Did I call it or what? Ugh. Awful. The Allure of Double Frantic Inventory. Yep. F6. I know it didn't work out, but I would keep that hand all over again. Brainstorm, yep. We're to float a red first. There's Rags. If they had played Ragavan on turn 1, it actually would have cleared our next draw instead of us moving to discard here. By Frantic Inventory. This match, I don't know if I played this match that well. Alright, well I didn't want to draw Force anyway, so that's fine. Progressive Iteration. And our opponent played a wasteland and passed the turn. So we have to hit a land here if we want to win. We did not. Kind of a bummer. Not the way I wanted to start this league. That's a rough one. I probably could have played this a little bit better, but at the same time, I do think we got a little bit unlucky. It looks like we didn't even have a second land coming. Yikes. Alright, well, match number 2 is on its way. Alright, match number 2, and our opponent has revealed Yorion. They could be Death and Taxes, they could be Alurin, who knows, but we're going to keep this. Opponent mulliganing to 5. To me, that says Death and Taxes. Let's find out. Okay. Vista isn't typically Death and Taxes land. Yeah, they're on Alurin. Sure. Little do they know that I am the mid-range combo deck. Let's keep the island around. Maybe or the Delta around. Maybe I want that for a brainstorm later. Ponder, sure. Birds getting in there? Oh. Take our draw step. Another fetch land. We do not need more lands. Tapping birds for something here. Ice Fang Coatl. You got it. And now the Ice Fang has Death Touch. Living Wish. For Uro. I'm fine with Uro. No attack. Give another island. Let's cast this Frantic Inventory. Meditate. Alright. Another land. Jeez. Honestly, I might consider meditating on our opponent's turn. If they do like something I don't care about, let's just try to make our hand not stink. Give them an extra turn. Ouch. Sure, you can have a neuro. Yep. Let's try to resolve this meditate. They're fetching in response. What do they have? Okay. Does meditate resolve? It does! How lovely. That said, it drew one of our few remaining lands. So now we're going to take 2 from the Ice Fangs. What's the game plan? You try to Windmill Slam Alurin? Cavern Harpy. Okay. That allows them to pick up an Ice Fang and recast it. Sure thing. Another land. We are flooding here. Just move to discard. Sure. Discard some lands. Ponder. So we could theoretically cast High Tide and then cast Turnabout, floating 2, opt. So we'd have 1 floating. Mission Briefing into Meditate, and we'd have 4 open mana. So if we hit Reset or something, we could be fine, but another Mission Briefing into Turnabout would not do. I almost feel like it's a little too risky to try to win this turn. I think most likely what's going to happen is I'm just going to opt and then try to win next turn. Your life total is a resource, so let's take this hit to the face and go down to 11. Learn. Arrow. That is 10 damage next turn. That's fine. Alright, let's cast Opt. Bottom. Yeah, I'm gonna let that go. Bigger draw. A little bit awkward. Alright, we're gonna have to try to win. Ideally, we would let the opponent get their Uro trigger on the stack, so that way we can use that trigger to deck them. Okay, so now it's go time. High Tide. Turnabout targeting me. Look at all this mana. Land and then untap. Mission Briefing. So we get to surveil twice. Let's leave those both on top. And then meditate. Alright. So this will be exiled, which means that the next mission briefing cannot target it. Okay, that was good. We have 8 mana. I'm gonna brainstorm before I cunning wish and a meditate. I want to see what my options are. Okay, that was pretty good. We can definitely put back the land. I don't know how good 2 opt is here. Hide. Oh, I had a mana. No, I didn't have a mana floating. Never mind. Ignore me. Reset. All islands now tap for 3. Okay. I wanted to mission briefing the sideboard meditate, but I know that I guess I can opt away the land that's on top. And then just keep the opt. Pretty sure I stacked it so there's land on the top here. Okay, and now we can cunning wish. Yes, grab meditate. As a kid, I thought meditate was just like the coolest card. A much younger Bryant played this deck quite a bit. Let's mission briefing. Don't want another force. We'll take a cunning wish. Meditate. And let's cast it. Okay. Opt. Not tapping these lands yet because I could theoretically draw into another high tide. So I don't really want to tap my lands before I need to. Like right there. Brainstorm. Put back these 2 lands. I can mission briefing those away in just a second. Okay. And then let's select another mission briefing. Meditate. So many extra turns skipped. 15 cards left in our deck. Cunning wish. Go get that brain freeze. Ugh. Death by arrow trigger. Just as Richard Garfield intended. Wooch wooch. We got game number 1. That game went a little bit better than our first round. Probably want dress downs. Probably board out opt. Opt's kind of low power level. Let's try this out. You could argue that maybe you're supposed to board in like Echoing Truth and Chain of Vapor as well, but I feel like that's a lot of slots against a deck that might not even have any hate bears. Do we keep 6 lands turnabout? That's crazy. Definitely, right? I'm not supposed to mulligan this. Unfortunately I misclicked. My bad. 1 land, double frantic inventory again. That said, I do think this hand is actually quite powerful. I'm going to keep this. We're on the draw, and the game plan is just hit our land. I don't think that's unreasonable. Forest into Hansen once again. Bop. Draw. Another tide. Alright, we need land. What happened is we flooded a little bit in the first game, and now we're just never going to hit our second lane. Brainstorm after the Bayou. Slight misplay from our opponent here, because if they draw into a fetch land, they are punished. Abundant Growth, okay. Come on, deck. Please give me a land. There's worse draws we could have had. I would have loved a land to start casting these frantic inventories, but I will accept consider. We'll keep that. Next turn, I can start counting my inventory. Okay. If they just jam a lure in here, I can't stop it. Also, we cannot beat Teferi. Yeah. So in order to win, I will have to Cunning Wish for Chain of Vapor. Ooh, that hurts. I guess we could try to go off low tide with no reset, but that doesn't seem great. We're probably just dead. It's fine. No, I'm gonna take the land. On the bright side, I get to just F6 through the opponent's turn. I wonder if I'm supposed to board out the other ops for Force Negation and maybe like a Chain of Vapor. Labeled 2. Okay. This game is looking kind of brutal for us at the moment. We can beat Leovold with the dress stones that I boarded in, but the Teferi remains an issue. And I can't cast this Frantic Inventory. Let's just go to game 3 and make our adjustments. Let's get rid of these ops, bring the third force in, and I believe I said Chain of Vapor. Chain of Vapor isn't out to Teferi. Maybe we want both chains because it also beats Leo. Maybe I'm supposed to just do one force negation then? Not sure. Alright, let's see if this does any better. This is how I lost match number 1. I think I'm supposed to mulligan this. Keep. Okay. So I did put back land 3. I'm guessing that we'll draw a land at some point. These cards are all too critical to our game plan for me to ship them. Opponent mulligans down to 5 cards, down to 4 cards, so they're digging hard for something. Alright, it's grand to go. Take our draw step. Sweet. Alright. I'm willing to guess that they have a Teferi or a Leovold in hand. So we're going to want to find a force effect. Move 2 lands from the game. Or not from the game, but from our library. Inventory. There's our force. That was a good draw. Okay. The wish is actually fine because it gives us essentially double force if we need it. Technically, we had double force already with the mission briefing because you can actually use the alternative mode on Forcible with mission briefing. It's not worded like Snapcaster Mage. Okay, and here is the Haymaker. I'm gonna leave back Cunning Wish. I think I'm just gonna go get Meditate right now. Okay. Land? Land? Okay. Sure. I don't see any harm in letting them switch phases here. What did you want to do with triple blue? So, high tide, reset float 2. Feels a little greedy to try to win. I could meditate. Problem with meditating is if I don't draw a force, I could just be dead. Just gonna take a draw step. Sure. Face Fang. Yep. Okay, let's high tide. Reset. Looks like they might have a response. Oh, okay, so that resolved. Am I allowed to meditate? No point in casting Turnabout first, because if I hit High Tide off this, and I didn't, but that means that these would have tapped for more mana. Let's Turnabout. Land, and then untap. Brainstorm. Try to convert these lands. Okay, so we're going to need to reset here because we're all out of mana. And then mission briefing on meditate. We might be fizzling here. Reset. Mission briefing. Well, I'll take the Frantic Inventory. It's technically a draw 2. Is that good enough, though? I wonder if I should just bottom it. Or put it to the graveyard. I guess it's better than a random card. Meditate. So we're only going to have 3 mana, so we pretty much have to hit a reset off this. We did not. Brainstorm. Gives us the most looks at reset. We hit reset. Okay. I don't know if I can pull this off, but let's keep going. Consider. We're going to have to redraw one of these lands. Critic inventory is a draw 2. We're back at the point where we have to draw reset. Consider. I did not draw reset. So we're skipping 2 turns, I believe. We do have double dress down, but that's only going to get us so far. And they're just moving to attacks. We didn't draw another high tide in there either. So, like, the untap effects that we had never got any better. We're halfway through our deck. Okay, 3 green off Carpet of Flowers. I guess last turn they could have put Yorion into their hand with that extra mana and they chose not to. Kind of weird. Allurin. Let's pitch a dress down. Okay, Allurin has been countered. I believe our opponent gets another turn after this one. We cast Meditate at least twice. And another turn. Our opponent must really hate Yorion. Double Hierarch, you got it. So we'll be taking 2 here, going to 12. I think we finally get a turn. Hey, we get a turn. We're pretty far away from being able to win, though, unfortunately. I wonder if I should just meditate. Like, give them another free turn. Let's respond with a meditate. That way I can get some more blue cards. Well, I am not pitching Frantic Inventory. I'd rather pitch High Tide than pitch the draw 3. Alright, High Tide down. On 1 card. Now would be a good time to put your into your hand, opponent. We're going to go to 8. Are they going to do it? Your into hand? No. Honestly, I feel like our opponent just forgot about it, which is fine. We have 2 High Tides left in the deck. Honestly, we need a Brainstorm to help convert some of these lands. We have 2 Brainstorms left. And they're going to pass. Draw. Okay, reasonable. Let's cast her draw 3. I thought about fetching first, but I don't love it. Cunning Wish is interesting. We've used the Meditate out of the board, so Cunning Wish can get Turnabout, or Blue Sun Zenith, or Force of Negation. Honestly, like, part of me just wants to let that resolve. Like, what if I just get Echoing Truth, and then, like, not care about it? I think the cards in hand are worth more than the Teferi right now, but I could be wrong. Or what if I just try to go off main phase and I get Turnabout here? I also get Snap. Turnabout's better. Alright, we're gonna go off sorcery speed. Your Teferi has resolved. We do have 2 Chain of Vapors in the deck, so we can always try to chain it as well. Fun and Growth. One up to 2 cards in hand. We're going to go to 3 here, so that means if I fetch and fizzle, I'm dead to the Ice Fang. 18 cards left in deck. 2 of them are resets. We have 2 Chain of Vapors, so there is a possibility that I fizzle. Okay, so chain is good. I think we start off on Chain of Vapor, try to get more info. Come on, counter it. And they did. Okay. So it looks like we are going off sorcery speed here. Tide. Tide. Meditate. Okay, that gives me some fuel. Let's brainstorm. Lands can go on top. Turnabout. Is that our... This is our last Cunning Wish. We need this to win the game. Mission briefing. We can mill the lands. Meditate. 5 cards left in deck. This is going to bring us to 1 card left in deck. Alright, well I can't cast a bunch of those because I just don't have a deck. I can cast 1 Consider. I don't know if our Strong Count is going to be high enough here. So we need 16 Storm. Can I counter my own spell with this? Yeah, I can counter my own Chain of Vapor, so that is an option. We can consider leave the card on top. Alright, so that's Storm 12. Actually, I don't need to counter my own Chain of Vapor. I can counter something else. Let's bounce the Teferi. And then Cunning Wish. Actually, how much mana can I make? No, there's no chance I could get up to whatever. That was a dumb thought. Let's just Cunning Wish. That's Storm 14. Storm 15 can be Brain Freeze. And then, I mean, we're not going to cast it right away, but I can cast Hold Priority. Cast Consider. Force a Negation. And then Brain Freeze. Sorcery Speed. We are Springtide, which is what the deck was called before there was Spiral Tide, because Time Spiral wasn't always legacy legal. Okay. Hope for no whammies here. No library. Did I miscount? Oh no. I miscounted. I was thinking for a regular sized deck. Oh. Why am I so bad at math? I mean, I couldn't have changed anything there. I couldn't cast these draw spells anyway, so I couldn't get my Storm any higher. We're dead. I guess we should just go out the real way. Ugh. We ducked. We ducked ourselves. 0-2 with Solidarity. At least somebody got ducked, am I right? Oh, what a blast. That was actually pretty fun, despite losing. Round number 3 coming right up. Alright, the third round, we're on the play. Can we get a win? This hand's pretty good. We just need to hit lands. Opponent taking a mulligan. And now down to 5. Okay. Fast. Ponder. Little do they know that I am also a force deck. Okay. Time to consider our options. Unfortunately, that has to go to the graveyard. Draw. Brainstorm. Why does this deck hate me? Jeez. We're gonna have to upkeep Consider, get rid of one of those Frantic Inventories. Seiju, huh? Looks like we're about to be shown and then told. Yikes. Alright. Upkeep Consider. Draw the Frantic Inventory and not a land. I think we have to get rid of Mission Briefing. I cut 1 land from the deck because I added in extra cantrips and just punished. Most lists play 19, and I decided to try to get away with 18. I can't counter this due to Beseju, so that just resolves. Nope, no permanents here. Sweet. Ugh, that was rough. So we probably want this Force Negation. We got an opt. We want both Force Negation. Let's try this out. No Cyborg Counterspell. What could go wrong? Like drawing one land and just never drawing another? So if I'm being honest, so far in this match, the last time I played Solidarity, I ran Accumulated Knowledge, also known as AK. Today we were running Frantic Inventory. I think if I was to play this deck again, I actually wouldn't run that style of card. It's just been really clunky in our draws, so I'd probably look for cheaper cantrips or something just less clunky, if I'm being honest. That's just an issue that I see with this deck. I decided to run that style of card because I decided that I didn't want to rely on just having Meditate, but I haven't liked Frantic Inventory yet. So maybe just running the deck based on Meditates is good enough. That'll sure. Okay, time to consider our options once again. Consider. I'm gonna put that to the bin. Okay. Can I get a land? Like right now, I'd probably add in the 19th land again. Maybe the third Force Negation. There's 2 slots. And then just like 2 cantrips, like maybe 2 Impulse. Like that might be okay. I'm not sure. Our opponent is passing. And I'm not going to try to win here. I think it's just too risky. So if we wanted to try to win, you could High Tide, Turnabout, Meditate floating 3, and then hit a reset after we just discarded a reset. I don't think I love that. Cunning Wish. I can get another Meditate or another Turnabout. I guess it could get an opt. Maybe help find another land. I'd also accept if they can. I'm not sure what the right play is here. If we draw a land, getting Meditate is really good, but if we miss the land drop, Meditate looks kind of embarrassing. Alright, come on, deck. Son of a bitch. God damn it. Alright, new plan. I'm going to cast Meditate on our opponent's turn. Did I just force this? Do I have to discard now? Okay, and are you just passing? That worked out. And we hit the land! I'll allow it. Intuition. So assuming that everything went right, we could High Tide, Turnabout floating 2. That High Tide, Turnabout floating 2. Gives us a lot of looks at an untap effect. I think I'm okay with trying to win here. Come on, what could go wrong? Just let it resolve. Turnabout. Let it resolve. Please. Come on, it's just an untap effect. Let it go. Right, intuition can happen. You're allowed to have a show and tell. Can I have my turnabout? Hey, we are allowed to have turnabout. So our odds of winning just went drastically up. Because now I can hardcast Force and Negation, and if they force here, I can respond with another Meditate into blue cards for these forces. Meditate. Okay. Could have been better. We have a reset in the graveyard, so let's mission briefing here. Reset. Kind of nice that Consider put the reset there. Cast Reset. It is worth noting that they're an Eldrazi deck, so we most likely need to win via Blue Sun Zenith. Days. Kind of obnoxious. Reset. Meditate. We know that there's a Tide on top. Alright, let's Force Pitch Force. Draw 4. Alright, another Tide, but no more Untap effects. So, I think we're supposed to... This is the first Frantic Inventory, so 2 mana to draw 1 card is kind of crummy. Alright, so I think we're supposed to do it this way. We're going to draw 1 card off this inventory. And now this gives me an additional look at cards off Brainstorm. And wow, we fizzled. So many lands. Wow. We are done for. Yeah, that was just brutal. Right. Get another turn. Oh, they get another turn. My bad. I thought that would have been my turn. I didn't realize that I cast that many Meditates. Yeah, I am not loving this Frantic Inventory card. 2 mana to draw 1 is just not Legacy playable. For what it's worth, I wouldn't play Predict either. I imagine we're dead here. Yep. Alright. 0 and 3. Brutal. Welcome back for match number 4. We're on the draw, and this hand is hot trash. Mulligan. A little bit better here. Probably bottom a land. Actually, it might be better to bottom opt. Yeah, that's probably the right call. Okay, opt down. Verdant Catacombs. I guess this lands? Greater Gargadon. It is not lands. Okay, pass the turn. Kind of a spicy deck here. I don't know what that is. Alright, when it dies, it deals damage equal to the number of land cards in your graveyard. Okay, that's kind of cool. Alright, let's cast this Consider Shape card. That can go to the graveyard. We don't need that quite yet. Meditate was a good pickup. Gargadon. Once Upon a Time. Not exactly a mid-game draw spell that you want. You sort of want to either open hand Once Upon a Time or never see it. Up a mountain. And we will take 2 here. Yep. On their end step, let's cast Brainstorm. Get rid of these. Consider. Let's keep that one. Part of the reasons that I played so many fetch lands in this list is I wanted to thin the deck as much as possible. So that way when you cast your Meditates, you're drawing into spells. You wouldn't know that based on the Meditates I cast in this league, but that was the idea behind it. Just remove as many lands as possible from the deck. And the fetch lands are split evenly to avoid Pithing Needle or Surgical Extraction. And because we're not playing Mystic Sanctuary, you can get away with running the Prismatic Vistas. Okay. So I've been thinking a little bit more about those Frantic Inventory slots. Ooh. I'm gonna force that. Oh. I'm an idiot. I did it and then I immediately looked at Cavern of Souls. I was too busy narrating. God damn it. Yeah, I'm just gonna get crushed by Opposition Agent here. Narrating and playing is very difficult. But anyway, so I was thinking about those Frantic Inventory slots. I think land 19 makes a lot of sense. Force Negation 3. You could possibly play main deck Brain Freeze, and then maybe even something like Flash of Insight. You could play. That's like an old Solidarity tech card, but I don't love the Frantic Inventory. Brainstorm, land. Okay, perfect. Let's do it like this so that way we can. I'm just gonna be lazy and do this. Put that turn on the bottom. There we go. That was so bad. I can't believe that I forced the creature. That was caverned. Oh, brutal. And I'm not sold that you need to play Brain Freeze or Flash of Insight in the main. Those are just two slots that they could be. The upside of playing Brain Freeze in the main is that games where you're winning by a thin margin, you don't have to Cunning Wish first. It also beats something silly like Meddling Mage in game one. So it just gives you that option. And then Flash of Insight works with Brain Freeze because you can Brain Freeze yourself and hit it. So I can't search. All right. Can't search due to the opposition agent. Or else they would get another island. I am going to be dead here fairly quickly. Another op. Okay. And they have this Gargadon that they can put into play next turn as well. So I think we're going off with 3 lands. This fucking card. Ah. I can only blame myself for forcing that opposition agent. I think we're just dead on board, right? They have 5. Yeah, I think I'm actually just dead to this thing. Because they can sack 4 lands, sack into Gargadon, and kill me. Reset. I'm just dead, it doesn't matter. Okay, so they let that go. Am I allowed to meditate? I feel like my opponent's just playing with their food right now. Meditate. Or high tide, I mean. So I can't Cunning Wish for Turnabout because I don't have enough mana, and I can't get Snap because they can sacrifice their creatures to Gargadon. So I just have to meditate again. Hope to hit a reset. Consider. Can't keep it. And we fizzled. Alright. Bummer. That didn't go well. Alright, let's bring in chains. This deck really wants another big draw spell similar to Meditate, and it's just not Frantic Inventory. Alright, on the play, let's try to get this. Ugh. How many mulligans? I think I'm actually gonna bottom force here. Keep bottom force, and let's see how it goes. Thought therapy, naming what? No brainstorm here. I think it would have been pretty cool if I had played a green splash for Veil of Summer, but also you could run Growth Spiral so that way you can put more islands into play on your combo turn. The downside is that you open yourself up to Wasteland, and it's kind of cute, but it would be pretty sweet, at least in my opinion. Just like mid combo end up with like 10 islands in play. It's not really worth it, like opening yourself up to Wasteland. Like one of the strengths of High Tide is that your lands are just indestructible, at least for the most part. Excuse me. Once upon a time. Alright, our opponent picked up a Taiga with that once upon a time. And now they're passing. Let's just fetch. And I think I'm going to use this Misty. I think that they know about the island, but I'm going to use the Misty just so that way I don't get hit by opposition agent again. And if we needed to, this could be a spot where we tried to win. I'd really like to not do that. So let's hope our opponent doesn't have a creature for Cabal Therapy here. Mayhem Devil, sure. Okay, you passed that turn. Okay, so I think next turn we are going to try to win. Get another land out of the deck. I'll take 2, I don't care. Okay. So I take 2 again off the Mayhem Devil. I guess it's 1. I don't it would be 2 if it was my burn, but it is not. This endurance. That's fine. Okay. I guess we respond here. 6 mana reset. Okay, so now we can meditate. A little bit worried about a Pyroblast effect here, but if they have it, there's not a whole lot that I can do. Was not expecting Mind Break Trap, I'll be honest. So I think we just lost. I guess I can Mission Briefing. So I could put Force on top. Or Force to the graveyard. Okay. I mean, we just fizzled, but I guess in theory I could hit another reset. Meditate. Let's brainstorm. Let's hide the high tide. Ah, and there's the reset. That hurts. I think I'm actually going to hide. I'm going to do it like this so that way I can opt away the land. No meditates here. You will be missing a turn, though. Let's get rid of that touch land on top of her deck. And now our opponent gets a free turn. So we could end up being dead here. Who knows? Jund Sacrifice, I guess is what you would call this deck. Once upon a time again. If they hit that creature that cares about lands in the graveyard, we're dead. Endurance. Sure. Endurance is pretty good against our Mission Breach. We're going to go to 6. They get land 5, Endurance. That's actually lethal. They have lethal. Yep. They sack their 5 lands, Endurance, and then attack for 3. And they found it. They see the line. I'm going to save my opponent a few clicks. They see the line. I'm not going to make them go through it. Wow, this league has been a nightmare. We are 0-4. Let's just see if we can get round 5. Why not? All right, the final round. Can we end this 1-4? This has been a rough league. I've had some fun, though, despite just absolutely getting wrecked. All right. Misty Rainforest into what? Uh-oh. Why do you have to play good cards against me? I'm over here casting Ops and Frantic Inventories. Come on. Don't want that. Island. Pass. Okay. So it's the Saga version. Ouch. Inventory. Another Meditate. I wonder if this is one of those turns that I just meditate on their end step. It feels really bad against the Daze deck, though, to be doing that. Maybe I'm supposed to wait till turn 4. Another Saga is up to 2. Ouch. Going to 18 here. Yeah, I'm going to wait a turn just to play around Daze. It means that I'm taking extra damage off these Construct tokens, though. I don't even know if I'm allowed to cast Meditate on the end step anymore. Might just have to Frantic Inventory. See what they do here. Making a con. So this is going to become a 3/3, so let's say they get like a Spell Bomb. This becomes a 3. They could sack the Spell Bomb to make this a 3 instead, so 5, 12. It gets a little dicey. I think I'm just going to Frantic Inventory. No High Tide yet, or Untap effects. Retrofitter. I forgot about Saga being an enchantment too. Yeah, we just didn't have the luxury of casting Meditate there. So we take 6 here, go to 11. Next turn they'd have 9 plus this being active, so that's exactly 11, or Retrofitter Foundry. So Meditate on the end step here just wasn't a choice. So maybe I'm supposed to jam it on the end step on turn 3. I tied. I can go to the graveyard. So we had to draw 3, but I don't know. So this draw 3 is going to have to literally be high tide reset. Okay, so we're at 10. Let's cast Frantic Inventory. We want to do it in beginning of combat because there's theoretically a world where if we drew High Tide Turnabout, I could tap down their creatures, but that's not a winning line, so it doesn't really matter. Well, I did draw Frantic Inventory number 4, but we are dead. DED, dead. Jeskai Ragavan too strong. Man, this is going to be like back-to-back weeks where I owe 5 leagues. Yikes. Maybe I should not play the Brew Legacy decks anymore. The format's just too competitive to be playing these spicy combo decks. But people always talk about how you don't run into the Ragavan decks in leagues too, which is, let's be honest, is kind of bullshit. But we ran into it twice this league, and obviously our deck is more on the casual side, so yikes. Why not? Let's just keep this. What could go wrong? Okay. Let's just main phase opt, avoid a Daze or a Pyroblast. If they play Ragavan, we're just going to force it. That can land a consider. Ugh. Force 3. Yikes. Our hand's looking kind of clunky right now. There's no point to brainstorming on the end step. We're just going to untap, see a fresh card, and then cast brainstorm. Right. There we go. Their own brainstorm. I think I'm going to take this as an opportunity to cast our own, because if they want to Pyroblast this, they're going to lose their fetch land. I don't think we need double brainstorm here. Daze was milled. Okay, activating the Arid Mesa. Ouch. Okay. Another Channeler is fine. We're down to 4 cards in hand. Kind of interesting. Let's cast another Consider. We'll keep Meditate this time. Draw. Brainstorm. I wouldn't mind if this ate a Pyroblast, if I'm being honest. Let's put back 1 force. Maybe I should have put back a Brainstorm. Alright, our opponent is casting their own copy of Brainstorm on our end step. Okay. They kept 1 card on top. Yeah, they kept 1 card on top both times. Okay. That's annoying. Good use of this extra brainstorm, I suppose. Let's brainstorm back into the force that's on top of our deck. Ooh, I hit High Tide. So that can happen, and then let's counter the Meddling Mage again. Okay, well, I'm going to fetch. They might be trying to get me on like a double daze thing. Or they just want the Surveils. Alright, so that's 3 dazes. There's only 1 daze left in their deck. They have 3 cards in hand. We know that 1 of them is a land. And this is going to be our last draw step, so Need to probably hit a land or a reset here. Mission briefing. Technically, that does bring back Turnabout. High tide. All right, so we're going to go to 2 here. Yep. I think we're supposed to mission briefing and to consider or opt. We have to find another high tide. Yep. Ponder. All right, 1 card. Mission briefing. We need the reset, so we have to keep that. We might as well just opt. So now we need to just like draw the high tide. 3 left in deck. Is it a hit? Awkward. Okay, so this is pretty risky, but it's theoretically possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to reset and then cast Meditate and hope to hit Tide Reset. This is what they back in the day used to be called going off low tide. Meditate. If you have a counter, just cast it. Come on. But we hit reset. Technically, I do get an opportunity here to draw high tide off of opt. We could reset mission briefing tide. That doesn't do it. We are dead. Okay, so we went 0 for 5. Let's be honest. That sucked. That wasn't a great. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't play Frantic Inventory again. Just not what I would do. Yeah, that's all I've got. Hopefully you found this at least somewhat entertaining. 05 sucked, but we did showcase what Solidarity is capable of in 2021. That was frustrating, but thanks for watching. Have a great day and keep storm. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.